someone else to come and bring you that new tool. I'm just going to wait until I get my tools from the company because I can't present to anybody because I have other things I need. And if I just had that other thing, or if somebody would just, if I would get my tools in the mail to me, then I could go out and make that presentation. And we're going to show you that you don't need any of that, okay? You can go out and make a presentation today, all the time, simple and easy to go to the marketplace and be productive and start making money. So here's a picture of the ridiculousness of thinking someone else is responsible for your success. So let's take a look at that. Already late.
Somebody will come. Anybody out there?
Do you have a phone?
No. Sorry. Somebody! Hello? There are two people stuck on an escalator and we need help. Now, would somebody please do something? I don't believe it. You gotta be kidding me.
I'm going to cry.
Well, enough. Let's do it.
Hello? Hey, don't worry about it. I'll fix it in a second.
He said he can fix it. All right. All right. That's more like it. He says he can fix it.
Okay, so that is the what we're talking about today. We're not going to wait for anything. We're going to be able to be successful because you have everything you need to be successful right now. And we're not waiting around for a tool, we're not waiting around for an event, we're not waiting around for Tuesday briefings. We can go and make our success today. That's what it's about, to be more productive. And so today we're simply going to go and pull up. Oh, this is going to be hard to do. So if we'll go back and forth to the ShieldNation Facebook here, because we're going to go to ShieldNation itself and just show you how this is simply an interactive. Everybody, John, you can open up the lines right now and show you a walkthrough. Brielle's here, and she's going to kind of take us through. She did a training here the other day in Knoxville because she simply lives off this website and the simplicity of it. And the number one problem I'm seeing in the marketplace is people make things too difficult. They just are doing a different presentation every time. They're using different tools every time. They're thinking, what should I take this time? What should I take this time? And Brielle, can you comment to that? What have you learned about keeping things simple?
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday to everyone. I was doing a training locally here in Knoxville the other night, and I kind of got on a little soapbox about the amount of people that I have found in Legal Shield or ShieldNation organization that reinvent the wheel over and over and over and over again. As I travel across the United States in Legal Shield and meet people, I mean, the amount of people that come up to me and say, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful for ShieldNation, and then I come to find out they're not even in the ShieldNation organization, is crazy. And so it would make so much sense, and it makes so much sense for us as a ShieldNation leadership to make sure we utilize the resources that are given to us, because I tell you what, I have kept my business so extremely simple, and thankfully I have incredible coaches, which you all do too, that remind me to keep it simple. And so everything you need for your success is on the ShieldNation website. So if we will go to the front of the website, we can kind of just simply walk through. Let's start with just the front page. Okay, how about the new associate checklist? What I love about the new associate checklist is the fact that, it's pulling up right now, when you're meeting with a prospect, it does the work for you. Okay, so the first thing we need to do today is you're going to become a member of Legal Shield. We believe that the #1 successful salesperson in our company is a satisfied customer. I want you to use the product. Get your will done. Obviously, customer, use the service. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to become an associate. We're going to get you licensed if your state that you're in requires a license. We're going to connect to ShieldNation. You're going to love ShieldNation. Oh my goodness, you have the opportunity to be part of one of the #1 sales and leadership training organizations in all of the country. Next up, you have access to B2C and B2B online training. So all that to say, it does the work for you. Oftentimes when I go to a meeting with a potential a new associate, I'll bring the consumer folder, a membership application, the new associate checklist, the associate compensation sheet, and I'll either have a associate app or my computer to sign up as an associate. So all of that is very simple. Okay, next up, get connected. Most of you have done this, but your team probably hasn't. That's why I still get text messages from people, hey, what's the webinar? How do I get on the webinar? How do I do this? How do I do that? It's because you haven't gotten connected yet, so you're not getting the text messages and emails. Recognition, it's great to see what's happening. Calendar, just what's happening across the United States in Legal Shield. Let's go down to what's new. I need to give a huge, huge hats off to my mom. I really can't say this enough. My mom and dad both are incredible, but my mom spends so many hours in this office where we're hosting the webinar right now, just brainstorming how she can make each of you more successful. So her brainchild is what to bring to a presentation. How awesome is this? And I would love to hear testimonials towards the end of the call of people that have used this. It takes the guesswork out of what we do. You can just simply pull this up. You know exactly who you're meeting with that day, and you can walk through, okay, I need a consumer folder. I need an employee benefit proposal. I need this. I need that. And so no longer are you wasting time trying to put packages together and be frantic. And something I would encourage all of you to do, and this is something that I'm going to be doing, is I'm going to start preparing just quite a few packets that serve each market that we serve so that I can just go to the back of my car, go to a little filing thing that I have in the back of my car and just pull out the packet that applies to that individual or that company, so on and so forth. So it just makes, as opposed to waking up early that morning and printing it then and then your printer doesn't work, let's just start being prepared in advance, printing out maybe things on Sunday so we're prepared for the whole week. So what to take to a presentation, critical. New commission calculator webpage, holy smokes. I don't know of anybody else in Legal Shield across the country that is providing associates with this kind of vision template for you to basically plug in the numbers and say, all right, you want to make $10,000 next month? Okay, here's what we need to do to make that happen. I don't know about you, but the times that have been so frustrating in this business, the times where I have vision, but I don't know how to get there. Well, now the commission calculator can tell you how to get there for the vision that you have and the vision your associates have. Utilize this. It's all new. We just, I guess, purchased a new software to do this more efficiently. So check that out. Play with that today.
On this, I just want to show you. Let's say you go in and you say, we're in Tennessee. So the person's like, okay, I'm going to sell 20 to the consumer market, and I want to go into the employee benefit market in Tennessee, which is right here. So I believe I can sell 30 a month, and that goal is the 50. See, you want to go to down at the bottom. Where's the 30? Okay, enter that in. Well, we have a glitch here. This should be 50 right here. 50 plans sold, so I'll have to look at that. But anyways, it added the consumer plans amount here, the employee benefit plans amount here, and based on the position, you can see what the commissions would be. So if they're executive director, they would make the $10,000 a month that they're looking for. So then you go, well, what if I would sell 40 employee benefits? You can start over, just push cancel, everything goes to 0, and you can do another pro forma. to show a broker, an insurance agent, a potential career move. We have a pharmaceutical rep that we just got an email from that we've known forever that said, I'm ready to make the move. I want to be out of pharmaceutical rep. I want to be in this business. I see that this has got longevity and residual income on the back end. So once you open up all the accounts and serve all the people, then you can get paid for the lifetime. But so we can go through this. Then you can also print it out. Remember, it's going to print according to whether you have landscape or whatever in your printer. So set that up and print this commission calculator out, hand it to your client, and then they can see their potential right there. There's their $10,000. 20 personal sales, 30 employee benefit sales, $10,000. So that's how we take this down. I literally sat with someone in the medical sales business the other day, and I went to the commission calculator and I went to the what's new. I'll just show you exactly what I did, and went down to the compensation, clicked on the compensation. I didn't even have any of this printed. I just brought her to the computer, and we looked at everything and said went over all the ways that people are wanting to market, the reasons, the top 9 reasons people want to market our business, went through the 3 ways of making money, explained all this to her. Management overrides, explained if you want to train and develop other people. There's also an income on coaching and developing a team. Renewal income went through not only do you get sales and not only can you coach others, but you can also get paid on the lifetime. Then in the bonus programs, went through the bonus programs, and she was like, oh my goodness. You know what I'm talking about? Julia. Oh. So that was like, and she's like, meeting with Brielle on Monday, and she's all fired up. So it was this simple. It was just going to the website, looking at the different things that ShieldNation has, and being able to really empower somebody. Now I could print this off. I did print this off for her and give it to her and put it on for Shield, the calculator. So those are the things that are happening. The simplicity. And if we have Steve Hales, John, can you open up Steve Hales right now since we're on this? And Steve.
I can hear.
Steve, will you just share how you use this particular screen for a executive luncheon?
Hold on, give me just a second. I wasn't right at my desk. All right.
Steve, can you hear us? Hey there. You were explaining to me how you had a really successful executive luncheon, and it was the simplest thing you've ever done, and you were all excited. Steve is also a new director on the ShieldNation team. He just went director. I don't know what your numbers were last year, but he's gone quadrupled his business or more by now. And just going from last year to this year with different skill sets, with different mindsets. He doesn't have the escalator mindset anymore, do you, Steve? You have the take the stairs. So you're not in a position where you're waiting for this briefing or that event. You use the events, you go to the event, but there might be 4 days between today and the next event. So every day you're going to the marketplace and seeing the people telling the story and using this process. So Steve, I just got a couple texts from you yesterday. I went to this person. I already have 1 membership sold in the morning yesterday. Got a text from him, and then he's going to his 2nd presentation already. So these are the kind of things that are happening, and that behavior over time creates a massive momentum, which is what he's seen. But let's go to your executive luncheon and how you use this particular. You just pulled up ShieldNation to do your executive luncheon. Explain what you did.
Well, I have a PowerPoint of the consumer folder, so I used that. And then when I needed to get into the referrals, I pulled up the evaluation, the presentation evaluation form, and handed them a copy of that. So I walked them through that, and then we talked about we went to the associate compensation plan. So we got them writing referrals, then we went to the associate compensation plan, walked them through that, and then we were able to pull up the commission calculator and show them physically what that looks like. So it's tangible, and whatever their vision is for their business, their goals, whatever their goals are. Yeah, we just pulled up, put in the numbers, and kind of worked it backwards as to how many presentations at a 50% close they need to do to hit that number to make that amount of income.
Okay, that's great. And the people saw it, people were signing up, I understand, And that's the key, because it's simple, it's easy, and I can do it. That's what they're thinking. Brielle, back to you. I want you to share how you had a new top insurance agency producer and went to the ShieldNation, and you were just talking to me last night about that and what he thought.
Yeah, I have actually a really incredible guy in Knoxville. He's been in insurance for 50 years. And he's kind of the insurance guru, and he just believes in our product big time. And he's one of those kind of guys, and these are the kind of guys, people that I like to work with. He can call just about anybody up and say, hey, I need 15 minutes of your time, and they'll take it. They'll listen. So he just went to the ShieldNation site and was just amazed at the simplicity and the resources and just the wealth of knowledge available to every individual in this organization to maximize your success. So that was a huge testimonial and huge feedback that we got. Back to this what to bring to any presentation, I love the fact that you can literally just click on whatever you need and it opens up to that. So it's so streamlined and so simple for us to go ahead and make the difference that we need to make out there and see the people and tell the story. So we'll take questions on that in a little bit. Let's go back to the front page real quick. LinkedIn referral technique. I highly recommend watching that. More specifically if you're in B2B sales. You know, be careful with this. Don't just go and friend everybody out there, but definitely use this LinkedIn referral technique because this can help build your business. All-in promo, we're very familiar with that. This is just a great way to maximize growth in your organization throughout the end of the year and even towards passing the year. I love this personally because, once again, if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there? And so laying out kind of a game plan for success for where you want to be in the next 2-3 months. And another thing is you've always heard build in 90-day cycles. That's simple for me, and sometimes I limit it to 1 month. Okay, what am I going to do this next month? Because that, to me, I can wrap my mind around that. I can't always wrap my mind around where I'll be in 1 year from now. So this is great to kind of game plan where you want to be in the next month to 3 months in your organization. Back to the ShieldNation site, I saw an email last night that basically said, in regards to this testimonial video for prospects, absolutely brilliant. I think there's well over 1,000 views already, because this is what people want to see. People want to see practical ways that people are utilizing the service, and so this is great to use with associates, with new members, as kind of another way to validate what we do.
I always take people to this when they don't believe. When I see low sales, low success, I know that they have a belief problem at their core, because if you truly believe in the product and what it's doing, it's usually the person. I just had a call the other day, and what do you do? What do you do? And I'm like, you go and share what the product's doing for you and for other people. Set an appointment, give the consumer pro their presentation, and get R3, referrals to the power of 3. You do that, and you do that, and you do that, and you network, and you do that, and you do that, and pretty soon you've got people coming to you. I just went to a meeting yesterday, and I'm looking at Premier Solutions is going to be doing all kinds of amazing marketing for its company, and that's what we go to the marketplace with. That model is going to be like a rock-solid model that we're going to open up all over the country. So that particular, I'm working with a company on social media and just marketing and all that. And that guy said to me by the end of the meeting, because I explained our vision, I explained that Premier Solutions is the face to the community in the local Knoxville market. ShieldNation is where we train and develop our sales reps. Today's Best Career is our recruiting website. So I showed him the 3 websites and explained that Premier Solutions is our business name to the marketplace. And then ShieldNation is just for our associates and our agents. That's where they go for all their support and training. So it's our coaching and training website. And so he totally was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is unbelievable. So what happened by the end, this guy's owned his own website development, what do you call that, SEO company, and sold it already. And he said, I would like to do business with you. can I, on a personal note, talk to you about becoming part of your company? I do small business owners all over the United States. They come on board with my company because I help them get started, and I would love to market this product to them. Oh, sure, no problem. Okay, so here's somebody I'm going to talk to, SEO and internet marketing, and he's saying when he hears the vision of what we do and how excellent we do it, I was showing him all of our sites, and he was just like, this is unbelievable. I've never seen such great support. That was a recruit. So I'm using our websites, Premier Solutions, ShieldNation, and Today's Best Career to show people this is a legit, real, serious business. You can go as big as you want to go with it. That was the medical salesperson that was in our office a week ago, saw all of this, and I just went straight to this page here. I also clicked on the leadership page. I just want to make sure I share that. And I said these are the number of people that have become successful as a result of this, of the ShieldNation team, the training, the support, and I went through all these backgrounds. I highlighted a few people, and it's such an amazing tool right here, your leadership page. These are your partners in your business. So I shared that with the new recruits as well, right off the bat, so they're very, very excited to be part of the team.
And let's go down to the front of the page one more time. I want to just speak to the Hoffman blog really quick. I don't know if all of you were in Las Vegas when my dad and I had the opportunity to share on stage, but the testimonials we got from that were so tremendous, and the testimonials we got were really honestly not even relative to Legal Shield, but more about seeing a father and daughter interact and just that godly, healthy relationship, which is kind of lacking in our world today, unfortunately. And so if you're looking for something to lift your spirit up, to encourage you, the Hoffman blog is it. The things that are put out on the Hoffman blog, and sometimes a daily, weekly basis, will encourage you and will encourage your team. So I highly recommend you click on this and you sign up to get that information. And then, of course, the Success Habits, that workbook, or the workbook. You can't really, I mean, everyone knows the power of this. You can't really preach on this enough, but I think that I can preach it more than my mom can since she wrote the book. But if you haven't gone through this yet, make sure you do, as well as your team. You can purchase it right from clicking on this, or at the store as well. So make sure that we get those out to our team. Store real quick. Oftentimes people say, well, where do I get consumer folders? Where do I get workbooks? Where do I get T-shirts? The ShieldNation store is where you can access all of that information.
The other thing is they're like, oh, I want to get consumer folders, but what is the consumer folder? And you can click here, and Trish has put a very simple, here's the folder, here's a little bit amount, here's the training. Everything's so click and just, it's right there, simple. And then back to the store, if you want to learn more about the Success Habits book before somebody buys them, you can go here and you can get more information about the Success Habits book. So everything's just like really easy to go to and click. So there's the store. They've got a little bit about the two products that are in the store. And going back to the homepage.
So let's move on to the next, probably and most important part of the ShieldNation website, the Training and Docs page. So huge. So obviously we know if you're a business to consumer, which is where everybody should start, because this is the foundation of the business. This is oftentimes the times where I've been most frustrated in my business over the last year and a half is the times where I got away from the simplicity and the basics of what we do in this business. When it comes to, obviously we know the product and the company, but it's always good to get refreshers on that. Selling the service, we can always get better at that. But part of underselling the service would be learning tracking your success. I can't even begin to tell you how critical that is. How many of you are good at maybe talking to people, but you kind of forget oftentimes, who did I talk to, what conversation did I have with so-and-so, where is this person at in the sales cycle? You know, that's me. So making sure that we're disciplined and committed to our Wealth Voters Tracking Form and our top star prospects and our PDA, I mean, that is absolutely critical, and that is all on the ShieldNation online training. So let's go back to the front page.
You can be going through the training, but let's say you've already gone through the training and you wanted to go to Documents. You can click in Documents, and here's all the tracking your success information as well. It's just click and it will open up for you.
And then, of course, there's B2B online training as well. And so if we go back to ShieldNation, you can see the B2B online training somewhere. And B2B online training is absolutely amazing as well. For those of you that have gone through it, I have an associate today that is doing his first group presentation to a bank draft group, 40 employees. He's going to do phenomenal. If he's listening out there, Damon, you're going to do a great, great job. But he went to the B2B online training and he watched Lisa Schiller's 15-minute enrollment presentation. And so he was able to, he's like, I've got my intro, I've got my outro. He's done the consumer folder presentation multiple times, so he feels confident. That's an intimidating place to be if you do not have some sort of training, and that's where the B2B training really comes into play.
It's actually, the B2B training isn't set up like a training like the B2C where you have a manual and you answer the questions and you're interacting with the site. This is going to be renamed B2B Online Resource Center, so you can, like, you're going to that, like exactly what you said. Oh, I'm going to a decision maker meeting. Let me brush up. So you click on the decision maker meeting, and you might want to watch one of these videos before you go to just become better. I know Brielle has gone to the decision maker meetings, and she's re-watched like live decision maker meeting with objections. So now she's equipped, she's empowered, she's like top of mind awareness about what to say when they say this, what to say when they say this, and she's at the top of her game, and that's why she's a professional. She's honing in her skills, going to the marketplace, not just fly by the seat of your pants and I hope I get this. She's like literally dealing with her success professionally. She's going back and re-engaging with more training to get better each time. And of course, if you know a great video that is out there that has helped you, that's your responsibility to tell us at ShieldNation, and we will post it. So we are, Lisa Schiller has just happened to sold 9,000 memberships, and she is extremely, she has great integrity with the way she goes to the marketplace. Katie Huff as well. And so these individuals are great leaders, and so we stick to the people that we know the production is behind. We do not put anything magic dust or flash in the pan, or hey, there's an idea for that somebody came up with and it's the latest thing that's going out in California or something like that and everybody's excited about it. Until I see EDs produced out of that idea that are legit, that are like long-term, like Brielle went ED with the foundation she built with the things we're teaching you, and it's been what, 13 or 14 months now? Once she hit ED, she never left ED. What you hear a lot in the marketplace is, oh, I went ED in 90 days. Okay, and then what happened? I'm not interested in teaching you on all of that kind of success, because that's what I call a shooting star. It fades away. I want real, lasting success, the real principles that will produce the life that you're looking for. And that's the kind of thing you're going to find on ShieldNation.
Let me speak to something real quick, not relative to ShieldNation, but this is something that I've learned in my business, and it's become more and more apparent over the last couple months. I think that many of you can glean from this. I took one of our associates, Glenn Spidell, to a presentation with a company with 850 employees, I think 2 days ago. And the guy we were meeting with, he was very, very quiet, reserved, just kind of very soft-spoken. And so throughout the entire presentation, I basically mirrored his body language. I mirrored his body language. I presented in his kind of body language, kind of more soft-spoken, very consultant type, just very kind of mellow. And I wasn't not passionate. I was very passionate, but I kind of mirrored his body type and his body language for the comfort factor for him and for myself and for Glenn in the room. And long story short is, by the end of the presentation, he looks up and he goes, you know what? I don't see any reason why we would not offer such valuable services to our employees, because I tell you what, we're always looking to put things in front of them that will increase productivity, that will decrease absenteeism, that are value added at an affordable rate. I mean, he literally preached back to me the same things that I shared with him. He goes, our enrollment is next year in June. We'll look to roll out that. It was just a phenomenal meeting. And I walked out with Glenn afterwards, and I was like, you see how when you mirror the body language, it makes the meeting that much more effective and comfortable. And the same goes with a DM or decision maker or CFO or company owner that's like, all right, I got 15 minutes, let's roll. You know, you better tell me what you've got to tell me quick because I got to go. I say, yes, sir, let's make it happen fast. I like fast. And you kind of just joke with them and you get right to it. So mirroring their body language is critical. What you see on the screen right now is System of Success from Legal Shield Business Solutions from the B2B training out in Phoenix, Arizona, or Tucson, Arizona. That is on the Getting Started page under the B2B training. So go through there, become familiar with that, especially for those of you that are looking to recruit B2B professionals. Training and docs, back to this page, resources, easy links, just quick links to some of the top websites that you're looking to share with the people that you come in contact with your business. Documents, once again, as opposed to having to go back through the training to find a certain document, it's all there on the documents page.
One resource I don't think people realize is this motivational training down here when you click. Here's our mentor right here. He was actually personally trained by Jim Rohn, so that's why he's so good. And Jim Rohn had really, really biblical foundational principles that he taught. That's why he was actually a pastor. And so he just took the principles that are eternal and taught them in a personal development format. Well, Jeff was trained by Jim Rohn personally, and if you want to look at his story, or here's young people, oh goodness, Trish, if you're on, this is all off, but Trish will fix this. Part-time to full-time, okay, it's not your upline's business, it's yours. So maybe you need to watch a 5-minute video, The Art of Fulfillment. Maybe you're like, oh, what is this all about, and how to have enthusiasm. You can read, you can go through all of, from an $80 million producer and learn little bits that you need to get better at. Fearless, advice for you on how to become fearless. If you're having fear, go watch this video. So we have that on the training and documents page so that you can see that. And a lot of people aren't aware of that. Then the executive directors, this is strictly the ShieldNation world. If you haven't seen the Scott Brooks, because he's part of our family too. But you can go through everything. Here's Brenda Lafredo, Growing Business with Referrals. So she's got a training there. If you're not good at referrals, you can go and specify. Recruiting to group. If you are in group and you want to start building a national team, local team, that's how you recruit to group. Watch that really quick. It's about 5-10 minutes, you know, and that way you can hone your skills in a certain area. So I want to make sure that you realize that is there, that that resource, all the executive directors in ShieldNation. So why don't we open it up? Is there anything else you want to?
I'll go to the top page real quick. Okay, so we'll wrap it up with this. If you go to events, I had a text message from someone on the line today who is a phenomenal guy. But he was saying, hey, I can't find the link to get on the webinar. He was looking at our conference calls to get on the webinar. So as you can see, to find the webinars, even recorded webinars, you click on webinars. Even if you didn't get the email, you can click on the link for the webinar that's relative to today's date. Conference calls, obviously plugging into the Sunday night conference calls are critical, as well as our leadership calls and group calls on Mondays. Conference call archives, and then local and corporate information. So I think that that kind of wraps it up. Why don't we kind of open up the lines and allow people to ask any questions that you have relative to ShieldNation. So let's do that. Dad, do you want to say anything?
Wow, all right. Good stuff. Yeah, I do. I just want to say just a couple of quick things. And I'll never forget, I got a tape one time from Rich DeVos. He was the founder of the Amway Corporation. You know, $7 billion company, one of the greatest keynote speakers I've ever seen, just in respect, well, just one of the greatest speakers. And he was standing in front of an Amway convention in Grand Rapids, Michigan, probably 10,000 people, and he got on stage, and the title of his talk was Try or Cry. And he absolutely got up and just spoke truth to those Amway distributors that were there, and he basically just said, look, I've been seeing a lot of your same faces coming to the Amway conference over the years, and y'all don't do a doggone thing. You don't do nothing. And he goes, it's time you stop your crying until you start trying. And the bottom line is what he was saying is don't complain about what you permit. Don't complain about what you permit. And I was listening to it just thinking, you know, and reflecting on Darcy's video that she put up, and that is the escalator. Many people won't even participate in their own rescue, you know, and so and it's evident kind of in that escalator. We might laugh at that. They're standing on the escalator when they could just walk right off. You know, help, someone help me. And instead of taking 15 steps and getting to the platform, they're standing there. And we might laugh at that, but really it speaks to a big proportion of our society today. And, you know, we had a guest speaker in town for the BizOp meeting this Tuesday, and we just want you guys all to know that as I share this with you, it's the same conversations that we have with Brielle. We don't hold Brielle's hand. We expect Brielle to step and walk in all that she's purposed to walk with. You know, I don't sit and, you know, compromise values, Darcy and I, when I say I. You know, we don't, accept excuses. You know, we don't become real compassionate to, you know, inactivity. It's truly seed time and harvest. And when we're having conversations with you, just know that we do it in the same respect that we have our conversations with those very people that we sponsor. So a young lady came up to me, and she's very talented. She's very strong in the world of business and hasn't sold a doggone thing in Legal Shield. Nothing, nada, nothing. And she just said, well, I'm just, you know, I don't know what to say. And I wrote it down. She came up to me. She goes, what do I say? And I said, you've got to be kidding me. You know, you're the person that doesn't even participate in your own rescue. I said, and I was fairly aggressive with her, because I'm not going to sit there and accept, you know, these types of absolute excuses when the resources and tools are sitting in front of us like we've never had in our lifetime. You know, a lot of us on this phone can remember back when all we had was black and white marketing collateral with Legal Shield. You know, Ken Moore, Wilburn Smith, Cleve Pickens, Larry King, and a whole host of others. They didn't have a problem becoming multimillionaires in Legal Shield without any of this stuff. But I said to this young lady, I said, on the B2C, have you watched the consumer folder training with Brielle or even Brielle and I? She's like, no. I go, okay. On the decision maker, on the B2B training, have you watched the decision maker training that's done by, you know, Katie, by Lisa, by Matt, or by Cheryl? Lisa Schiller's personally sold over 8,000 memberships, Katie over 7,000 memberships, Cheryl over 5,000 memberships. Here are individuals that on the B2B side will teach you exactly what the conversation needs to look like on the decision maker side, on the acquisition side, let alone what everything that Darcy put together with our broker proposal. Brielle and I were just in with a major company with only one portion of it that has 20,000 employees yesterday. Brielle has kept this company in the pipeline for a year. She nurtures, she cultivates, and yesterday we got the green light to go ahead in a very major way, and they have a heck of a lot more than 20,000 employees. That's just one of their subsidiaries with the employer groups that they service. You know, my point is let's all participate in what our future is going to look like, and let's quit and stop allowing others to make excuses on our teams and in other places when all of these resources and tools are slapping them in the face saying, here I am, watch me, here I am, listen to me, here I am, put me to work. So, you know, please, we've got the analytics. Please, once you've seen the webinar, be sure you forward to your team. Let others access, let others have access to what it is every one of you leaders are being led, you know, to teach your leaders on your team. So we're excited. We're excited because we know how to get results. What we don't do is plant the seeds. Well, we do plant the seeds, but you got to take it out to the field. So I got a whole host of other stories, success stories about people like this young lady who have now gone to the resources and are not only Fast Start qualifying, Performance Club qualifying, but on the acquisition side, loading their pipeline, both on the recruiting side and on the B2B side. in a very aggressive way with huge things about to happen. And Steve Hales is one of those examples, as is a host of others. So,
hey, Dad, Aaron Gonzalez has his hand raised.
yeah, he's had his hand raised since he got on, so we'll go out to him. He's a tremendous leader. We'll go out to the Arizona market. Aaron Gonzalez, great to have you.
Thank you, man. I'm just so excited with the call, Brielle. Awesome stuff. Ms. Hoffman, great stuff. It's a real simple story, guys. I met with a small business owner in Arizona, showed him the consumer folder. Well, let me back up. I listened to what he had to say because he had an issue going on right now. Then I showed him the consumer folder, made his issue fit into the folder, showed him the fact sheet on the business plan because he's a business, and showed him all the other stuff he's going to be getting. We, from that information, selected a plan. He wanted to go home and talk to his wife and his daughter, who are his business partners. 2 days later, I called him back, and I said, you know what? We might have made a brass decision on your plan. Can you go to my website right now? They went to the website. I had them clicked on that plan presenter thing to pick your plan and had them go through the questions and answer the questions in there. And then it came up and it selected, based upon their answers, the $89 plan. See, I had put them in the $39 plan. But because of the questions that were there that they answered, it put them into the $89 plan. Then when it came up saying you should get the $89 plan, she literally compared what I had suggested to what the computer had suggested based on her responses. And she says, wow, instead of getting 20, I get 30. Wow, instead of getting 10, I get 20. Wow, this does seem like a better plan. And I said, well, all you got to do is get with your partners and decide which one you want. Call me back. She then tells me, well, it says buy now right here. Can I just buy it now when we decide? And I was like, go ahead. The next day, 1:44, I get a welcome new member. They purchased the $89 plan. Guys, that was the easiest $89 plan, easiest $400 I've ever made in my life. I didn't say much. I just pointed, consumer folder, fact sheet, website. They decided what they wanted, and now I'm a little bit more wiser today. Back to you, Mr. Hoffman.
Aaron, I appreciate it. And that, what a great story. Excuse me, guys. What a great story. And that reminds me of a principle Darcy and I were taught. We've certainly shared it with Brielle and all of you over 25 years ago. Say less to more people. Right there, good stuff. Guys, raise your hand if you have a question or anything that you'd like to share. We certainly appreciate all interaction that does take place. Steve Hales, your hand is up. I'm not sure if that's from earlier or not, but Steve, real quick, we'll go to you and grab a couple more.
Thanks so much, John. I just wanted to share a story about an associate we have on the team named Richard out in Pittsburgh. Richard was approached by Rhonda Okamoto on the team at a trade show. His wife sells jewelry or something, and all she did was share a story, got their information. They went back out to Pittsburgh, and Rhonda scheduled a three-way call. We did a three-way call. Prior to that, she emailed them the consumer folder, and I walked through that with them. They signed up for the legal plan. Richard came on board as an associate, but after that three-way call, I didn't hear from him. I tried calling him more than once, but in his numbers, he was hitting Performance Club every month. And it wasn't until he made it to senior associate and got his 3 and 15 that I finally got a hold of him on the phone. I said, hey, Richard, man, I just wanted to let you know we've been watching what you're doing, and we're rooting for you. Congratulations to your success. And I said, share with me what you're doing. And he said, well, Rhonda showed me how to get onto the ShieldNation site. It took me 4 hours to get through the online training. And I went through that, and I just went out and started making appointments and selling memberships. And he's got a 60% closing ratio with nothing but the ShieldNation online training. You know, there's nobody else on the team. He wasn't calling me back. Now we've got an open line of communication. But, you know, I just wanted to share that all he did was utilize the ShieldNation online training and the consumer folders. And he's at a 60% closing ratio. He's on spot at 5 months performance. He's actually sold 10 memberships so far this month. So he's actually working toward getting to California next year, getting his BMW in June. So just wanted to share that.
I'd also like to Thanks a lot, Steve. I also did a three-way call with this individual probably, I don't know, 6-7 months ago. Steve, you know about it, with Rhonda. The gentleman had been having tremendous challenges with his throat and had lost basically his voice. And so in the three-way call that Rhonda and I did, he could barely get above a whisper. And I'm sitting here thinking, you know, gosh, I really hope, he just sounded like a great guy. I really hope things can work out for him. And I don't think his voice has gotten a lot better yet, has it, Steve?
No, not by much.
Okay, but here he is, Performance Club qualified, and out there protecting families with Legal Shield with, I don't want to use the word a handicap, because, you know, it's not a handicap unless you decide it is, but anyhow, certainly doesn't have the same projection and opportunities a lot of us have. So, Steve, appreciate it. Also, guys, please remember the tell me, show me, let me, grow me, the coaching model. What I also shared with this young lady on Tuesday night was, look, reach out to your team partner, your sponsor, reach out to your husband, and just role play back and forth the consumer folder script. Go back and forth and practice. Role play the conversation to set up a meeting with the decision maker to move toward an acquisition. Role play the proposal in front of your significant other, your spouse, or your workout partner. Do it 2 or 3 times, and as much like Brielle said, when you're prepared, your confidence is elevated. When your confidence is elevated, for lack of a better term, your closing rate or success is going to be much stronger. Tell me, show me, let me, grow me. Okay? Who else? Anybody else? Or we'll wrap it up. Brenda Lafredo, Bob Cohen, real quick out to you guys, then we'll take Carmen Wilkes and wrap it up.
Okay, John, it's Brenda Lafredo.
Yeah, Brenda, great to have you.
Thank you. I just want to say I so appreciate all the work that you guys have done, and it's just a tremendous tool that I still use. I mean, after all these years, I was preparing for an open enrollment the last couple of weeks, and I went back to the B2B training and watched Lisa do her presentations and refined what I do. So I guess what I'm saying is you can never stop sharpening your skills, you know, and I learned some things that I wanted to say and had a very successful enrollment. And you guys are just doing so much work, and I appreciate it so much because it really lets me get busy and not have to worry about doing all this. So thank you so much, guys, for all the work you all do.
Hey, Brenda, appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a Millionaire Club member, an IBM executive before Legal Shield, and still sharpening the axe and still, you know, always going through a refining and advancing and, you know, review even before her most recent enrollment. So, Brenda, really appreciate it. Bob, real quick over to you, and we'll wrap up with Carmen Wilkes.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Excellent nuts and bolts training here. You know, so many times people are looking for the how-tos, and that's exactly what today's training was. So I highly recommend, you know, get this link back to the folks that maybe didn't join us here live, and so that way they can get plugged back in, because ShieldNation truly is just a treasure chest of great information here. And here's what I've been really sharing with the team is start printing out these forms. You know, print out the new associate checklist, print out the all-in promotion here, so that when you are with your team, we are with a new associate, it's tangible. And I love that Brielle was sharing that she actually is creating, you know, some folders. You know, she's not going too crazy, but at least it's tangible there. And I so see that right now in this world we live in. Everyone thinks it's all about the computer, and that's all fine and dandy. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with going back to the basics, and that includes the PDA form, you know, having that printed out so that you see, you know, what you're doing on a weekly basis here with your business. That includes the phone call tracking sheet, which is just so fascinating, folks, to really do the gut check. Hey, am I making my calls on a daily basis? That's black and white, folks. That page does not lie. And then last but not least, the tracking form, so that you are tracking your exposures. So again, you hear these stories where a year later you're following up with somebody and the time is right, and now you're moving forward. So again, thanks for all that ShieldNation does. Again, folks, everything works. The key is what duplicates. See, that's how you have a large team across the country, is that we plug them into the system. ShieldNation is the system. That's what duplicates. Thanks again.
I appreciate it, and much like Brielle said, all the input from the organization is great, but just a big hats off personally to just Darcy, because I also see just the timeless energy that is spent in that office looking at how to make the idea of a franchise-type model the best possible productive unit for an organization like this. So big hats off to Darcy.
Well, John, I just want to make sure you know it's the Darcy Trish team.
I do. I wasn't done. I was going to also just mention, Trish's just consistent energy toward everything that she does, and we could hear on the phone how adjustments are made here, adjustments are made there, and Trish always jumps right on it. So, Trish has just been phenomenal too. Also, real quick, in Atlanta this weekend, I've had a lot of folks calling me. So I will be hosting the BizOp meeting at the Super Regional in Atlanta this Saturday, and we will be doing circle ups with the team. So that's going to be my opportunity to meet with all of our team members in those circle ups. So please, if you're not there, feel free to have your folks come introduce themselves to me. And if you are there, let's have a big circle up after that BizOp meeting, where I can just come in and kind of join in the conversations and continue to build the greatest team in the direct selling industry. All right, last but not least, Carmen Wilkes, you've been patient. Your hand is up. Let's throw it over to you.
Hi, John. I just wanted to do kind of a shout-out for the PDA. It has been amazing, and I still don't feel like I use it all the way that I should, but I am getting, like, people calling me and going, please make sure you call me back. I really want to sign up. I had one lady that I sat down with a couple of different times. She's a financial planner, and she asked me how the compensation worked, and now I know exactly where to show her. But at the time, I'm like, and I gave her an idea, and then I went, you know what, I'll just really totally mess it up. And she looked at me and she goes, you don't know how the compensation works? And I'm like, well, the numbers don't stick in my head. She is one of my new associates. She is awesome. She's been on the website doing stuff. I also signed up my first small biz, and I have two new associates this month and 2 maybes. And people are literally calling me going, please make sure you call me back. I'd like to do this. And then last but not least, I'm really on a mission to help everybody get covered by identity theft, because I had somebody in a networking group send me her soon-to-be ex-husband, which I thought it was a kind of odd thing to do. He had filed his tax return. He got an extension, filed his tax return, and he called me and he said, I got a message that said, I'm sorry, you've already filed your tax return. So his identity has already been compromised. But it has been a great month, and it's like I can't even keep up with it. So thanks, guys.
What a great story. That's the one we're going to wrap up with right there. Carmen Wilkes, phenomenal. So excited for you, and you don't know how excited we are to be able to hear that even though you haven't mastered the comp plan per se, which you don't necessarily have to, the fact that you can go over to that commission calculator where Darcy and the team have kind of mastered it all for us is pretty sweet. And how exciting is that? Plug the numbers in, take a look at what the real numbers are, see how you can advance, and build this business like you've never built it before. So I look forward to seeing everybody in Atlanta. Darcy, Brielle, any final comments? We'll wrap it up.
No, I just want to, on the ShieldNation calculator, I also show people this is where you're at when you start after 5 sales, so that they see the progression on 10 sales, and that making 10 sales $2,700 or making 10 sales $7,600. Same amount of effort, different income. But you do the exact same thing for those 10 sales if you're at this position or that position. So I explained to them our first goal is getting them promoted as quickly as possible so that they're earning the highest commission possible as quickly as possible. And I also explained to them the management income. You simply, if you can have a team of, especially with the sheet right here that talks about the ED worksheet, All right, if this is their goal right there, then they can go back to the commission calculator and understand by getting to that goal, the differentials of, let's say somebody sold 10 at this level. All right, so they sold 10. That person is going to earn $1,100. You're going to earn $2,700. So now they can go, oh my goodness, there's such a value in coaching and developing people and recruiting a team. And you can see that while they're new and you're spending more time with them and they're calling you every day on the PDA, they're going to earn their first 10 sales. They're going to be here. You know, when they hit 5, then they need to go to 30 in order to advance. So those sales are going to be paid out to them at this level. And your time and energy that you're spending with them, because they're going to be calling you before and after possibly every presentation to develop their skill set. So eventually they are not going to need to call you. Or if you have Steve's team member who is going to the online training and going out to the marketplace simply by following the system, that simple, not making it difficult and not getting confused. He's doing 10 without Steve even having to coach him. Now that's really amazing. That's using the system to coach, which is what the ShieldNation is meant to be, as a coaching and developing website for everybody. But anyways, this is showing the differentials is a really great thing for the management income, what we make on overriding and developing a sales team and developing people throughout the local area or expanding their business. So that's the other thing I show on the commission calculator is the differentials. But no other comments. I just am excited for everybody going to Atlanta. As I said here, let us know who's going to Atlanta so you can meet with your guests. Make sure you text John or we'll put another Facebook post on who's going to Atlanta so we can make sure you know where we're meeting and you can have access to John to talk to your team or your guests. All right, that's all. Have a great week and see you in Atlanta.
Bye-bye.